Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. Despite the adoption of multiple anti-corruption instruments in the last decades, corruption remains a widespread global phenomenon, undermining democracy, rule of law, and sustainable development. No country is free of corruption. Therefore, I very much welcome the political declaration that we just adopted, and I wish to highlight some of the proposed commitments and illustrate their importance through our experiences and ongoing reform efforts. First, I would like to highlight the commitment to end impunity and strengthen the anti-corruption legal framework. Fight against corruption is one of the top priorities of Slovak government. We extended penalization of corrupt behavior via a new criminal offense, the so-called sweetening of public officials. In addition to that, criminal offenses of indirect corruption and legalization of proceeds from crime were aligned with international requirements and needs of practitioners. We have adopted new legislation on property seizure and administration of seized property. The Act expanded possibilities for property seizure and established a new office for the administration of seized property. And since the independent judicial system plays a crucial role in preventing and combating corruption, we are reinforcing this area too. To name just some of the changes. We have introduced new competencies of the Judicial Council related the trustworthiness of judges. We have established new Supreme Administrative Court with broad disciplinary powers. And now we are working on a new court map that should also enable a better random selection of judges and reduce room for corruption. Nevertheless, we are all aware that even the best legal framework is not sufficient if it is not properly and fully implemented. Only efficient enforcement can bring success and break the cycle of impunity. And here comes the second commitment I want to mention: the importance of developing a culture of integrity. Everyone has a role in preventing corruption by acting with personal integrity and making ethical choices. And every system is only as good as are people who are implementing it. Recent corruption cases involving high-level public officials in Slovakia proved the urgent need to focus on the integrity of public officials. We promote various projects aimed at ethics and personal integrity. Codes of conduct for different categories of public officials are being refined to ensure the creation of a strong culture of integrity among public officials to minimize future corruption. The new Office for the Protection of Whistleblowers will also help to protect those who bring attention to various corrupt practices. The third on my list is related to the culture of transparency and accountability in the public sector, including public finances. The Slovak Republic respects open government principles. For example, all contracts concluded by public authorities in Slovakia have to be published in the Central Register of Contracts. If a contract related to public spending is not published, it is null and void. Disclosure of contracts allows for public scrutiny and helps discover unlawful conduct in public procurement. Transparency of beneficial owners is also on top of our agenda. Only contractors who disclose their ultimate beneficial owners in the public register of public sector partners are authorized to do business with the state. In addition to that, we are currently engaged in a project with international NGOs focused on the amelioration of verification of ultimate beneficial owners in Slovakia. The fourth commitment I would like to highlight is about the importance of preventive measures and policies in the field of corruption. The Slovak Republic puts a great emphasis on preventive strategies. Our national anti-corruption program promotes principles of transparency, integrity, participation, and accountability in the public sector and is regularly updated based on practical experiences with its implementation. And last but not least, I would like to emphasize international cooperation. The regional cooperation is closest to all of us, and in this context, I fully subscribe to the statement of the European Union, which reflects also Slovak positions. However, we live in a global world. We all witness how sophisticated technologies, cross-border criminal networks, and the COVID-19 pandemic present new corruption risk to the international community. Therefore, we salute the creation of the GLOBE network and further support international cooperation among law enforcement and judicial authorities of state parties to the UNGASS. Mr. President, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, I am convinced that this forum creates an excellent opportunity for the exchange of experience and good practices. In this regard, I would like to invite you to the side event on enlisting gatekeepers in the fight against illicit financial flows that is hosted by the Slovak Republic. To conclude, I would like to thank the President of the General Assembly for organizing this special session of the General Assembly and to wish fruitful discussions to all participants. I believe that the UNGASS political declaration will successfully guide multilateral cooperation in the fight against corruption for the next years. Thank you for your attention.